ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। So with an earnest prayer to Swami Dayananda Ji Maharaj, Paramarthananda Ji Maharaj, and all our acharyas, we will begin the study of the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. अथ पंचदशोऽध्यायः।
अथ पंचोदशोऽध्यायः।
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
ऊर्ध्वमूलमधः शाखम्
ऊर्ध्वमूलमधः शाखम्
अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम्
अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम्
छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि
छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि
यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्
यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्
अधश्चोर्ध्वम्
अधश्चोर्ध्वम्
प्रसृतास्तस्य शाखाः
प्रसृतास्तस्य शाखा
गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रवालाः
गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रवालाः
अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि
अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि
कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके
कर्मानुबन्धिनी मनुष्यलोके।
Yeah. So this particular chapter is one of the smallest chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. It has only about 20 or so, I think. So pretty short chapter. And also it is talking about Ishvara, Brahma. It is called Purushottama Yoga. So it is chosen to be chanted as a remembrance of the teachings of Sri Krishna. And often it is chanted in the ashrams and all. Before lunch, we chant it. Before lunch, 12:30, we come, class gets over at 12:30, we head straight to the dining hall. That is how the schedule is. And so we stand in line and then we get in, and then so the chanting has started there. And so Swamiji jokes. Swamiji is saying, when we chant this, instead of remembering Bhagavan, we remember food. Like that, he's joking. So, Jnana Yoga, Okay. And then is the main topic of this chapter. And additional sadhana might come, and then all the virtues that are required for gaining that adhikaritvam, all that will be talked about. So this Purushottama Yoga, Uttama Purusha. In this, he's going to say Uttama Purushastvanyaha Paramatmetyudafritaha, like that. He's going to say one shloka. Who is the Uttama Purusha? Is it Sri Krishna? He's later than Rama, Rama 2.0 is Sri Krishna, right? So like that, if we start thinking, then we have to correct ourselves. We can't talk like that. We can't put one avatara better than avatara, this and that, evolution, all these ideas, scientific evolution, leave it aside. And when we are talking about Brahma Vidya, we can't we can't talk about gradations and all that. We have to ask, who is this Uttama Purusha? Uttama Purusha is Sri Krishna, the avatara Purusha Sri Krishna, or is something other than that. So like we discussed in the Kshetrajnam Chapi Mamiti, Kshetrajnaha Aham. He doesn't say your body, the jiva, your body is my body. He doesn't say that. Kshetrajnaha mam. So my essence is same as your essence. That is what he's talking. So that is what must be Uttama Purusha. Okay. So that's the idea here. And so, because otherwise, if it were Krishna that is talked about, then Krishna's Leela must be there in this chapter. Krishna's Leela, because he's the greatest God of all, right? But you don't see anything like that. So that's, these are not difficult, but we should recall those things when we are teaching others. All right. So, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Okay. And somewhere, Shankaracharya is saying, Arjunena aprishtaha api. Even though nothing was asked by Arjuna, still Bhagavan decided to speak. Like that, Shankaracharya is introducing this chapter. Because other chapters we always have Arjuna Uvacha. Here there is no Arjuna Uvacha. So, uh, so somebody were to ask, who is this Purushottama, Uttama Purusha? Uttama Purusha is Nirguna Brahman. Like that, if you ask. Then why do I need to know Nirguna Brahman? What is all this? Nirguna Brahman. Well, you should know it because there is something called moksha. And what is this moksha? A moksha is this knowledge of Nirguna Brahman. Okay. And so why should I get moksha? What is this moksha? Well, that is because samsara nivritti happens only by knowing your true nature, without knowing which you keep on seeking. As Swamiji would say, either you seek eternally or you seek the eternal. Either you seek eternally or you seek the eternal. Right? That's how it becomes. And so that is why samsara nivritti is there. And then the person may ask, then what is samsara? What is samsara? All right. So if somebody asks what is samsara again, what will you say? So these things you will tell me in the satsang period, right? So Swamiji puts it in a nice way. In India we have something called auto rickshaw. Auto rickshaw. The Indians won't ask what an auto rickshaw is. So the auto rickshaw. So the biography of the auto rickshaw is the autobiography of the human being. So, you tell me about yourself. If you say we'll have to talk from birth onwards, what all happened. And so, just constantly going everywhere, coming back, maybe coming back in the night to one place, and then going everywhere, and then coming back, then going everywhere like this, coming back. This is samsara. And so, constant problem solver. We all become very good problem solvers, because over time we gain some experience, small things, we know how to deal with it. That's why children ask us for advice, and then we ask elders. So that's why elders are very useful. They're useful because they know some silly tips that only they will know. They just know nobody else. And so, whether it is a remedy for some chronic problem or whatever, they have some things. So this guy has become a typical problem solver. And then guess what? Shastram says next birth also is there. You continue, love to solve problems. I'll give you another chance to solve problems, another janma, another janma. So this is how the life is. And so that is called samsaraha. And so, therefore, samsaraha is there, samsara nivritti is there, and so moksha is there, and so nirguna brahmajnana is there. So that's how we have to connect. We all know that. And so, Krishna is going to talk about that samsara in the first two shlokas. He's going to talk about that. And because again, we have to understand samsara first before going to moksha. That's the idea. The more I appreciate the problems of something, the more I will be interested in looking for solutions. If I don't know that there is a problem at all, hey, you guys keep talking about problem all the time. I'm a very optimistic guy. We have to look at it positive. We must have a positive approach to life. This also, they love to talk like this also. Come on, all this. You should not talk like that. We have to have a positive attitude. Yeah, yeah. So let's see how long this positive attitude will take you. And so, and then the guy will complain after 10 years. I've been having this positive attitude, but things are not working out. What do you mean by things are not working out? If positive attitude people, things don't work out, what about all the rest of us, And so, uh, so you have to diagnose. The diagnosis involves understanding samsara. So that is what is happening here. So in this shloka, a very popular word is brought in here. It's called Ashwatha. Ashwatha. The tree. Ashwatha tree is very sacred in our culture. And we saw this word some time ago, right? In the 10th chapter, I think we saw.
Vibhuti Yoga.
Vibhuti Yoga we saw. Ashwatha Sarva Vrikshanam. Like that we saw, correct? The Sarva Vrikshanam Ashwatha, he says. There. So briefly we touched upon that particular tree. See, some of us may not have seen the tree because in the cities and all, you can't see these. Occasionally, you will see somewhere a big tree will be there, and you ask them what it is, they'll tell you. They'll tell you stories. You know why they'll tell you stories? Because these trees live for 800, 900,000, 1,500 years. Ashwatha Vriksha can live as long as 3,000 years, it seems. Can you believe it? 3,000. So many generations of human beings have come and gone in that time. And so that Ashwatha Vriksha, it produces oxygen in the night, it seems. That's why they say don't sleep under this tree. You can get into that whatever hyper oxygenation or something can happen. They say things like that. It's very amazing. Only tree, or at least one of the few trees that produces oxygen without sunlight. And so that's this tree. Okay. Now, this is called people tree. This is different from banyan tree. People tree, banyan tree. Okay, these are two different trees. And we are not talking about banyan tree, which has these roots coming from the tree all over. When you see a fully grown banyan tree, you can't find out where the stem is, the main trunk is. You can't, it's very difficult to find out. You have to kind of search and then find out. But this tree is not like it. It doesn't have that kind of thing. It has a very large stem. The bigger, the more mature the tree, the stem can be up to 2 or 3 meters width will be there, and the tree is huge. And so it's called Ficus religiosa in this so-called Latin language. And so in Tamil, we call this banyan tree as Alamaram. And this one is called, the people tree is called Arasamaram. I think some of you are shaking your head. The different trees they are. And I read that banyan tree is named, you know who it got its name? These people, British people, they found these Banias business people of the Northeast, Baniya sitting under this tree, and therefore it got called as Baniya tree. Baniya. Baniya is business people, I think. Baniyas bolte hai na? So like that. So very interesting etymology. And so this Urdhva Moolam Adashakam. Uh, well, so these are also very tall trees, up to 100 feet, and then they have a root system which horizontally it grows. Horizontally it grows. It's a very unique thing. And this leaf of the Ashwatha tree is very interesting. It is heart shaped like this, and then with a sharp tip, it has like this. And so, if you look at the Bharata Ratna, our Bharata Ratna award they give, so it is on this leaf. That logo and emblem is on the background of a leaf, this Ashwatha leaf. So it's clearly our people have studied a lot about these things, and uh, so that's the uniqueness. Uh, it seems it kills bacteria in the air also. Okay, some germs and all, it has that capacity. It seems it generates isoprene, which helps protection of the ozone layer. Okay, so there is a lot. Ayurveda talks about benefits of Ashwatha tree and so forth. And so there is a lot about this tree. Anyway, that tree is being referred to here, not for its benefits, health benefits, not for those things. It is used, it is a representation of samsara. This is the idea here. Yeah. And not for its ozone protection, those kinds of things. Samsara. Okay. And so this shloka itself, Krishna borrows from Kathopanishad. Another example of a shloka Krishna borrows from Kathopanishad would be
Namriyate.
Na jayate mriyate va kadachit. It's a copy from Kathopanishad. Correct. Like that, there are two other shlokas. So this Indriyebhyah Parahyata, etc. That shloka also is borrowed from Kathopanishad. Then Sarve Veda Yatpadam Amananti, etc. Anyway, so now samsara. This tree represents the so-called our life or the universe, Jagat, all that it symbolizes. That is the purpose of the reference to that tree here. So hugeness is there. Jagat also is huge. Life is huge. The tree is huge. Adyantarahitam, second quality. Second quality, that similarity between this world or this life and that tree is you can't find out uh, Adi Antarahita. So, how did this tree come about? If you ask, you won't know. You won't know. And how long it's going to last, you won't know. How this whole species perpetuates, you won't know. There's some process you can find out the seed, etc. But when did it start, etc., you don't know. Nadi moolam na vicharayet, rishi moolam na vicharayet. Don't ask some questions you should not ask, it seems. Nadi moolam. Where did the river start from? You can't say. Oh, there is Gangotri. This is where Ganga is originating. Okay. Where did that come from? Where is the water in Gangotri coming from? If you ask, you can't answer. Rishi moolam na vicharayet. Who is the first Rishi? Don't ask that question. So like that here also. And our life also is like that. You start asking fundamental questions. What is the purpose of my life? Why was I born? What will decide my next birth? What was my first birth? All these questions you ask, Adi Antarhitam it becomes, right? So that is one commonality between this tree, which represents that universe, which represents our life, universe also. What is the cause of the universe? Scientists are still studying it. And so, third commonality, okay, Anirvachaniyam. Anirvachaniyam means you cannot categorically define, state the nature of samsara. Categorically, you cannot say. Okay. And like the same tree also. Tree. Is the tree a cause or an effect? Is the tree producing stuff or it is produced? If you ask, it is both. With respect to some things, it is the effect. With respect to the fruits it's now creating, it is a cause. So it is both cause and effect. And so, if both cause and effect, can you be categorical? No, you can't be categorical. It has to be either cause or effect. Then only you can say it is categorical. And so here also, are you father? If somebody asks, what will you say? You will say, yes, I am father. But then, are you son? Yeah, I'm son also. Oh, your father and son also. Okay. So you just keep on building up, and categorical answer will not be there. And all the questions we have. Do we have free will? Do you have free will? Oh, I have free will. Then why do you have karma then? Oh, I have karma also. Oh, I see. So like this, all answers, there is no categorical answer for anything. Nothing. Only Brahma can have a categorical answer. Okay, that's the beauty of this. So anyway, anirvachaniyam, inexplicability, non-categorizability, something like that you can say. It's called anirvachaniyam in Sanskrit. Okay? And that is why Maya, anirvachaniya Maya. You can't categorize it. Can't really point a finger at Maya. And so, next, I'm not counting. The next one, fourth, I think. Fourth is this primordial cause. Okay, moolatvam. Moolatvam means what? You can, if a tree, once you see a tree, you know the tree has to have roots. Tree has to have, it has to come from something. That much you know. You can infer. You can't see the roots, but you can infer the roots. You can say, yeah, the tree must have root. Somehow we all know that. Okay. And so we've seen small plants, we grew plants when we were young. And so we know that roots. We've seen the roots also. Sometimes the roots are plucked, uprooted. Weeds are uprooted, and then you see the roots. That's when you get an idea what a root is. And so you understand that a tree has roots. Like that, you understand that this jagat, this life, this samsara has to have some roots. Some roots. Okay? Which are invisible. Which are invisible, right? You don't clearly, that the cause is not at all clear. Okay. And then I suppose that is why they say root cause. In science, they have something called root cause analysis. What is the root cause of this? Means what? Don't tell me all this. Don't tell me a big story. Tell me what is the root cause. They have, when they solve problems, then they do investigations, whether it is a scientific investigation or anything else. They look for root cause. Psychology, they try to look for root cause of problems. So maybe that root is referring to that cause there. All right. Next similarity, commonality. Shakha, branchedness. Shaka, tvam, shaka. Tree, of course, has branch. This particular tree is very interesting. It has branches, all right. But from the branch, other big branches start growing. Another tree-like thing starts growing. Mini tree. Okay. That's very unique about this tree. You can Google and see. I spent some time on that. Some people have good videos on this. And it's very fascinating. Very fascinating. Unless we lived in villages and all that, we may not know much about this tree. And so it seems wherever the bird drops its seed and the seed falls on the tree, then one tree grows from that trunk or the branch. Okay. So some things like that they were talking about. So that that shakha is there. In the middle, it is there. In that, it's growing. In the top, it is there. In the bottom, also, it is there. It's growing downwards. So, but it's not like the banyan tree. Banyan tree roots not different. Okay, all right. That's one similarity. Life is also like that. That's why when we introduce ourselves, every story is different. Did you come across anybody where two stories are identical? No. At best, we can say, oh, I'm also a Kashmiri Pandit. Like that, you can say. So, maximum you come up to that point. Very rarely, it is similarities. Similarity can be there, but identity is just not possible. This, they say even the teeth dental structure is very unique. It seems, of course, thumb impression is unique and whatnot, right? Eye, whatever eye, they have this eyesight recognition these days. So everything is unique. And so, and of course, if you want to go macro, then lokas are all there. Bhuloka is there, Suvarloka is there, and then Atala Vitalas, Adholoka is there. So it's just massive, massive. This universe is just massive, many branched. Okay. And then another similarity, leaves. Leaves. Paranatvam. Leaves means what? Trees have leaves, and the purpose of the leaves of the tree is that the leaves are the one that processes and does the photosynthesis and nourishes the tree. It has also a job of nourishing the tree, including the roots, which supply nutrients and water to the tree, etc. And so here the purpose of the leaf is nourishing. That's the purpose we want to take, nourishing the tree. And the Jagat also, Jiva, life also. Jagat means life. Okay, you have to connect the world and us. Okay. And so there also, the leaves are equated. It's Krishna is going to say, leaves are the Vedas. The Vedas are the lifeblood of humanity, of Vedic people. And why? Why? What do you mean by nourishing? Here, nourishing means perpetuating life, giving me all the means to achieve my dharma, artha, and kama. Okay. And the Veda tells you anything I want is available. Veda will give me. If somebody says I can't have children, then Veda will say, don't worry, I will help you get children. To that extent, the Veda is helping the people. People, perpetuate the samsara. Samsara gets perpetuated by that, right? And so that is what is meant by uh, nourishment. And so you want to go to heaven, Swarga Kamaha Yajeta, you have to do all these rituals. Brahmana and Samhita talks about all these rituals. Because Swarga also one can desire. And Veda is the one that talks about Swarga. If Veda did not talk about it, we wouldn't know about it. So it's like the advertisement. It makes you, keeps on telling it until you get the desire. And then you come back and then you get to know how to go to Swarga. So all that. Therefore, leaves is equal to Vedas. Vedas specifically referring to the Purva Bhaga, Karma Kanda, not the Moksha Bhaga. It is a Dharmartha Kamama Bhaga, right? Because Moksha puts an end to samsara. So we should not bring the Upanishads into this Vedas, right? All right. Another similarity. Phalam. You talk about fruits and phalam. Yeah, so people want something, and fruits, results are all expected, and that's why a tree is useful. And so, fruits means what? Different types of fruits. Okay, Swamiji says katta meeta, katta and meeta. Katta, we have a movie called Katta Meeta. So, katta or meeta or a mixture. That is better. Human life is a mishra. That's why all of us are mishras. Katta, meeta, mishra. And so, kabhi upar jata hai, kabhi niche. And so that kind of similarity between the tree, which gives fruits of different types, and I also experience fruits of different types in this life as I live. Okay, all kinds of experiences. All right, another similarity, ashrayatvam, ashrayatvam means the tree is supports an entire ecosystem. Imagine a tree living for 1,000 years, and there are birds, there are insects, there are this, there are that. We have no idea what all is living in that. Because that tree itself is huge, and can imagine how that life would have evolved around this tree. And so there is Shubhashita, which says even for a tree, chayam anyasya kurvanti. The tree provides shade not for itself, provides for somebody else. Chayam anyasya kurvanti swayam tishtati atape. But swayam by itself it is standing in the sun, in the heat of the sun. It is standing. Nobody comes to the rescue of the tree, And then what? Palanyapi pararthaya. Even the fruits of the tree, at least, is the tree going to consume the fruits? No. It waits for people to pluck the fruit. Otherwise, the fruits will just fall down. That's it, over. So, phalanapi pararthaya. Then what? Tatpurushaha vrikshaha iva. Something like that. The Satpurushas, the Mahatmas are like the trees itself. They are basically living for the sake of others. Like that, there is a beautiful Subhashiti. Anyway, another similarity. Okay, so what about that's the tree. What about the similarity here? Well, the this life is meant for supporting life. The universe is meant for supporting life. Otherwise, it's of no use. And I suppose that's why the earth is a very beautiful place, only place where life can be sustained. And so that's the similarity here. Then there are more similarities, but the last one here is chedyatvam. Chedyatvam means the ability to uproot. The tree is there, the tree can be uprooted, the tree can be cut, no doubt. That ability is there. The tree will never say, you can't cut me and all. No, the tree is there. This Ashwatha is interesting tree. You put a rod, like a metallic rod, pole, like our electricity pole. If there's a tree nearby, the tree will just surround the pole. The tree stem will just grow around that pole. Very interesting it is. Very, very interesting. And so anyway, so Chedyatam can be cut. Can be cut. And we've seen the meaning of the word vrikshaha. Vrishchanat vrikshaha. Because it can be cut, it's called vrikshaha. That is the etymology of vrikshaha, the word. And so here also, this jiva, this life, this samsara, also can be cut. Samsara also can be put to an end. So jnanena samsara nivritti, which is the most relevant for us here. So these are some of the similarities between the Ashwatha tree, not any tree, Ashwatha tree, because it has to have huge and this and that branches, etc. All those things it needs to have. So they have chosen the Ashwatha tree. Anyway, with that background, let's now see what Krishna is saying in the shloka. Prahuhu, that is the verb. Prahuhu, prahur avyayam, So prahuhu means they say. They say. Means wise people say. Wise people say something. Okay. What do they say? They say that Ashwatham or samsaraha ashwatha tulyam iti prahu. Our samsara, our life is like this tree, Ashwatha tree. That is what they say. Okay. Further, what do they say? Urdhva moolam. Urdhva moolam. So the moolam means the root of the tree, the base of the tree, which is the roots in this case, root of the tree. Urdhvam. Literal meaning of urdhvam is above. Above, literal meaning. So sometimes they draw this picture of the roots being above and the tree is inverted, like a mirror image they show sometimes because of this mantra only. This mantra. And so roots are above. But really speaking, the urdhvam here does not mean above. It means it is superior. It is more subtle. It is the cause of the samsara tree. There is a cause for the jiva who is more superior. The jiva is what is visible, and that's one is utkrishtam, another is nikrishtam. One is Ishvara, the other is jiva. Okay, that's the idea here. So, utkrishtam, superior, and another meaning also is given to the word urdhvam. Okay. Not comprehensible, subtle, sukshma. Nachiketa was told by Amma, what was he told? Devairapi Devairatrapi vichikitsitam pura nahi sujneyam anuresha dharmaha. Hey, it's not easy to follow. It's not easy to grasp this topic that you're asking. And so, not easily graspable, comprehensible is another meaning for urdhvam. And that's why Swamiji says, you say sometimes you sit in class and say, it went above my head. Went above my head means what? This I learned only in America. In India, I don't remember hearing that. In school, college, I don't remember. But anyway, it went above my head. So this going above, urdhvam. I think in Sanskrit also it's like that. Guruji's class was great. It was urdhvam. You say urdhvam, very, what do you call that word? Euphemistic word. Guruji's class of urdhvam today. Urdhvam. Anyway, so this is called urdhvamulam. Means referring to Ishvara, referring to a primordial cause, something there has to be a cause for this Jagat, this samsara, this jiva, right? Then urdhvamulamadha shakam. Shakam is adaha. Shakam, of course, literal meaning is branch, and adaha, literal meaning is below. Branches are below. Okay, so that imagery is there in our culture, and so again, opposite of urdhvam, utkrishtam, superior. Nikrishtam, inferior. Okay, inferior. Inferior means not status wise inferior. One is Satyam, another is Mithya. Whether you call Mithya inferior, I don't like the word inferior, superior, because, what can you say? Satyam and Mithya. Satyam is Satyam, that's it. Mithya is Mithya. What is this inferior, superior business? Inferior means what? Maximum. Hey, it's what counts. Satyam is what counts. Don't get carried away counting Mithya. That is the maximum we can say. Okay. And so anyway, Nikrishtaha. Okay. And then, and also because we said incomprehensible, Urdhva Moolam, here, comprehensible. Indriya Gocharam, that is Indriya Agocharam. It is perceptible by our sense organs. Their roots not perceivable by the sense organ. You have to infer, can only infer. Okay. So, Urdhva Moolam, Adhashakam, Ashwatham, we saw that. Prahuhu, Avyayam. Avyayam. We saw this Adyantarahitam as one of the similarities between the tree and the samsara, right? We saw that. And you can't say, what was my first birth? Okay, my birth now is because of my Purva Janma, karma. Okay, all right, karma. Can you tell me when was I born? If you ask, there is no answer to that. There's no answer to that. So that is the meaning of this Avyayam here. And no beginning, no end. Now, Atma also is referred to by the word Avyayam, right? Atma also is all pervasive. It is Ajaha, etc. Nityam. So sometimes Avyayam is used for Atma, but here it is not referring to that Avyayam. Here, this Avyayam is just so vast that you can't find the end or the beginning. That is the Avyayam here. Then what? Chandamsi yasya parnami. Parnam. Parnam, leaf. Leaf. So yasya parnani, yasya vrikshasya parnani. Which trees leave? Ashwathasya parnani. The leaves of this tree, you know what they are? They are chandamsi. Chandamsi is a plural for the word chandas. Chandas, chandasi, chandamsi. Chandas means Veda. Okay, Chandas means Veda. Chadanat, Chandas. Chadanat. Chadanam means covering. It protects. Vedas protects by covering us like this, it protects us. That is the meaning of Chandas. And because Veda protects us, it is called Chandas. It's another word for it. And by nourishing us, by giving us what we want, Dharma, Artha, Kama, obviously protects us. And so, Yasya parnani chandamsi, just like the trees nourish the leaves nourish the tree. Okay. Then what? Yastam Veda, Yastam Veda, Yaha, the one who Tam Ashwatham Veda, Veda means Janati, knows, the one who knows that Ashwatha tree in the following manner, in the manner in which it has been described. Okay. Yaktam Veda. What happens to that person? Taha Veda with Taha Veda with. See, Yaktam Veda. Shankaracharya adds another word there. One who knows the tree in this manner described as Samsara Vriksha. Samulam, he says. Samulam means including the cause of this tree, which is Brahma, including the cause of the Samsara, Jiva, which is Brahma, Ishvara. That also the person knows. Then he is called what? He is called Saha Vedavit. Vedavit. Vedam Veti is Vedavit. Vedam Janati iti. That is the person who should be called as the knower of the Vedas. Okay? That is person is a jnani ityartha. And so we have to be careful here. So Ashwatha Sarva Vrikshanam of the 10th chapter, it is not like that, right? He's not saying I am the samsara. He's referring to the positive aspects of Ashwatha and saying I am the positive aspect. Why? Because of all the attributes we discussed. Plus, if you know the root also, then you're a jnani, and therefore aham ashwattaha, like that he said there. And so that's the basic idea of this mantra, this shloka, which introduces samsara in one shloka through this tree, Ashwatha tree. And we discussed it at that time. They marry the Ashwatha tree with the neem tree. Correct? They didn't have children. They want children. And they do this ritual of marrying these two trees, Ashwatha and the neem tree. And so all that is there in the culture. All right. So let's look at the meaning of the shloka. Sri Bhagavan said, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, they say, the imperishable Ashwatha tree has its roots above. Has its roots above, comma, its branches below, and the Vedas are its leaves. Full stop. The one who knows that, is a knower of the Veda. The one who knows that is a knower of the Veda. You see, somebody told me a week ago, somebody told me recently, they asked me, his person, good friend, he asked me, suggest a good Sanskrit English dictionary. That's what he told. Yeah, there are many dictionaries available, and these days online also. Don't worry if you don't have a dictionary at this very moment. You can go online also and see. And then he's told me, I am reading Narayana Suttam. And I want a dictionary to understand Narayana. This is what he said. So I was probing him a little bit. And so you can see that just because if somebody knows Sanskrit and okay has a dictionary also, and they're trying to unpack this Veda, how is it going to work out? It's not going to. Look at the shloka. What is the connection between the translation and what we discussed? How are we going to connect this and that? It's going to be tough, right? Unless some book somebody has to talk about it and then he read it. Then I want to use a dictionary to understand what the dictionary says. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So without studying the Shastram, I want to figure it out myself. Good. That inspiration is nice, but we don't want to be carried away by that. We want to. It just occurred to me when I saw this translation. Okay, let's chant the second one also.
It's done already.
It's done. Okay, all right. You say so. Let's do that. So Maheshji had a question.
So when you say knower of Vedas, it's a knower of Karma Kanda of Veda?
No, knower of the Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Because Shankaracharya, we say Samulam, he has said Samulam, along with the root, which is along with the cause of the samsara, along with Brahman. Okay, so that person is the knower of the Veda. And because this tree is meant for us to approach Brahma Vidya. Otherwise, this tree is, for us, doesn't have any meaning, any purpose. And it doesn't have any purpose being in the Bhagavad Gita without Brahma Vidya coming in. And so, knower of Veda here refers to not knower of Karma Kanda alone, knower of Karma Kanda and Jnana. The purpose of Karma Kanda, limitations of Karma Kanda, and Jnana. Okay? That's the way to look at it. All right. Adhaschordvam prasitastasya shakhaha gunapravriddha vishaya-pravalaha adhascha moolanyanu-santatani karmanubandhini manushya-loke. So again, continuing the description of that particular tree, adhascha urdhvam prasritaha tasya shakhaha. Okay, that's the way to split it. Shaka, it's talking about the branches of the tree. Adhascha urdhvamcha. It is going downwards and it's extending upwards also. Okay, that is how it is. This tree is unique. Besides being in the middle is of course understood. And so we saw the meaning of that. It means you want Manushya-loka? Yeah, Manushya-loka is there. You want Swarga-loka also? Upwards also you can go. Nobody wants Patala-loka. But people don't think of their actions. Unfortunately, their actions decide where they are going to go next. And so, Patala-loka is also all there. All kinds of up, down, middle, everything is available. And so, Tasya Shakaha Prasritaha, extended, spread. Okay. Then what? Guna Pravriddhaha. And so, Guna. They are spreading, they are nourished by the gunas. That is the literal meaning of this. This tree of samsara is nourished by gunas. Well, so we've discussed, the good thing is we've discussed Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga already. So we can now appreciate guna. That same guna only it is. So there's Maya, Trigunatmika Maya is there. She's the one that makes this magic happen. And she's the one who just, she doesn't really make me do anything, but through her presence in the form of guna, this up, down, middle, everything, activity within, activity further into the future, everything is all happening. Guna pravriddhaha, mayaya pravriddhaha. Okay, Trigunatmika mayaya pravriddhaha. That maya makes everything happen. Makes the clock tick. Okay. So nourished by the three gunas. Then what? Vishaya pravalaha. Now this pravala is a particular part of the tree from where another new branch is about to come. Shoot. Sometimes they call it shoot. Sometimes they call it nodules. Now you can see the place where the shoot is going to come out. Just so here they are all called vishayas. They're all called vishayas. Those points are called vishayas, which means what? Indriya vishayani, indriya vishayaha. Okay, and so I go after all the indriya vishayas, which makes me do all kinds of karma, which makes me gather all kinds of punyam and papam. And then I have to exhaust the punyam and papam. Therefore, another janma is waiting for me. And likewise, in this tree also, from that nodule, in the branch is there already, but from that nodule, another branch is waiting to come out. It's a potential branch. Pravalaha is a shoot or a nodule in the branch, which is a potential future branch, future janma. Okay, so that is the meaning of this Vishaya Pravalaha. Okay, and so the janma and all we've discussed a lot about this. So here Swamiji mentions about the evolution a little bit and how the scientific idea of evolution is linear. From these kinds of beings, you got little advanced, evolved, and then monkeys and this and that, and human beings. That may be true. We don't have anything against that theory. The theories may be true. And survival of the fittest and things like that. Those theories are all proposed by Darwin. But then our thing says, okay, that may be true, my dear friend. But then the human being has such a capacity that based on the person's karma, that person can become a fish. Can become a fish. You keep the body separate from the jiva in the body. Body is separate, the jiva is separate. Correct? A jiva can travel and take on any bodies, including other lokas bodies also. Okay, and so based on the karma of that jiva, that much is there, and also discussed in the 8th chapter. Brahma bhavana lokaha. Going to Swarga is no guarantee that we won't come back again to Martya Loka. Brahma bhavana lokaha punaravartinorjuna. Even Brahma Loka, visitors visa only they give, and so there is a time after which that visa also expires. And so that is by the way. And Swamiji here mentions this, he gives the example, the snake and ladder. Snake and ladder. We are all the way up the top. You went like this, you went all the way to the top. You're right in the middle of the top line. This moksha is right there. Moksha is there. You can see moksha, in fact. In Tamil, it's called Veedu. So Veedu means home. That's finally you reached home. Okay. Moksha, 94. And then this number also Swamiji only quotes. And then, but the problem is in between there are 3 snakes waiting, it seems. One snake will get you, 4 you will come. Another snake, not that bad, 50. Another snake takes you to 84. You say, what? 6, I want a 6. 94 to 6 means moksha, So, like, anyway, so this is how it is. So, adascha mola nenisantatani. And so who decides our next birth?
We.
Karma.
Or karma.
Karma phala data, right? Ishvara.
No. Our karma.
Our own karma.
Our own karma. Wow. My students are now so enlightened. I am so impressed. Not even one wrong answer. Okay. Bhagavan is helpless. Karma phala data, all right. He's the one who decides what my next janma. I don't know what my next janma is, but essentially I have decided what next janma is going to be. And so by my actions, I decide what that shoot is. That shoot that is coming up in this tree, that nodule. And so that's amazing thing, right? And so urdhvam gachanti, previous shloka we saw, urdhvam gachanti sattvastaha, madhye tishtanti rajasaha, jaganya guna vrittistaha, adho gachanti tamasaha. We saw that. Okay, fine, but I have a big role to play. The jiva has a very, very big role to play in this journey. And so where is the question of fate and all that? Fate is just a wrong idea. See how if you don't understand properly, we take off in a different direction. That fate also, that karma, it is my karma to be like this. If I say my karma to be like that, I created my own karma, which is now bogging me down. Correct? Which is bogging me down. I remember what the statement Puja Swamiji had made long. Karma is not fatalism. Karma makes me responsible. Then years later, I understood that statement. Karma makes me responsible. Accountability. Finally, I am accountable to myself. Don't point your finger to God all the time. God did this to me. God cannot do anything. God is the only being that cannot do anything. Not possible. God cannot do anything. Niyama is all set. Dharma is all set. What else is there to do? If you throw a ball in the top, it has to fall down. What role God has as a separate entity? Hey, God is the law. We are saying this law is God. Ball is God. Gravitation is God. That's it. Everything is Ishvara. Where is a separate? If you separate out God, put him out there, then you can bring up all these theories. God is doing all this. He's playing a game. No game, nothing possible. And so, karma makes us responsible. This is very important. We should teach this to our children. And slowly, with examples and things like that, we slowly get them up to speed on these topics. Anyway, we'll continue this discussion.
What's the meaning of that word anusantatani?
No, I've not covered that yet. Adascha mulani anusantatani, we have not come yet. We've just stopped with the first half of the shloka, right? We'll cover that in the next class. Okay.
Swami Paramatmananda ji says, God is only a delivery man. You have ordered. So he delivers. He is a delivery man.
Poor God, we have reduced him to a postman, Postman only delivers, right? He doesn't write the letters for us.
Yeah.
He doesn't give money. There's money on. Yes, he gives the money. You don't do namaskar to the postman. No, you should not do that. In fact, we already paid him. They have paid him 20 rupees to deliver 1,000 rupees. And so, anyway, we'll continue this discussion. Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thank you very much. Hari Om.
ధన్యవాదాలు.